Good morning again. I've come down to North Wales this morning to a little lake called Llyn Dywarchen. A very small lake, very pretty little lake. And I'm here just before sunrise, so I'm hopeful of some decent light. There's a little bit of cloud around, which is excellent, because that's going to hopefully light up. And I'm going to shoot with my large format camera, spending most of the day, hopefully, in this one particular spot. Well, I've made a couple of images. I made one of Snowdon behind me, and I also made one towards the hills and the valleys off into the far distance there. I used a mixture of films, Kodak Ektar, one shot for Snowdon, and Ektar and FP4 for the shot you can see behind me. It's an absolutely beautiful morning. There's a little bit of a ripple on the water, but nothing significant. And it's making it very, very easy to work with a large format camera. So far so good. And I'm going to work down this area a little bit more. I'm going to, if you can see behind me, there are various little mountain ranges and hills which I want to shoot. Spectacular and well worth pursuing. Well, that was really enjoyable. I've got a couple of shots in the bag already. It's only about 7:30 in the morning. I've just popped back to the car to replenish my film holders. I'm going to take some more colour Ektar with me and probably some black and white, maybe infrared too. And I'm going to head off round to the other side of the lake. Now, there's some old ruined buildings there which I've shot before, which are really, really photogenic. And there are also some good angles back towards the boathouse. So pack up my gear again, have a quick snack and set off. Well, I've come across this absolutely spectacular scene that you can see behind me. I'm looking towards Mount Snowdon. I've got a beautiful tree in full bloom and I have a wonderful lead-in line of this stone wall here. It's absolutely made for photography. Now, I will confess, I've been here before, so I did know this composition. But nonetheless, this is the best light I've ever seen it in. And I'm going to shoot it with two films. I'm going to shoot Ektar and I'm going to shoot FP4. FP4 will be a backup shot, black and white. It'll work in black and white. I also want that colour shot. It's going to be 1/4 of a second at f/22, a little bit of front tilt just to keep all the foreground in focus. This is going to be excellent. Well, I'm really pleased I got that shot in when I did. I had to rush a little bit with the large format. I took 2 frames with my 150mm lens. Because just look at it now behind me. Sun blasting away. Really, really strong. I mean, it looks lovely on the iPhone, but far too bright to shoot. Contrast range absolutely through the roof. Now I'm going to have to be careful now. Nothing to do with where I'm walking or anything like that, although it's a bit marshy, because I could get carried away. The conditions are absolutely beautiful, even though the sun has come out and it's quite dazzling, and I could get carried away, and I'm chasing around looking for spectacular images I don't really know now what I am looking for, so I may take a bit of a pit stop, have a sit down on a sit mat, get underneath this this lovely tree you can see behind me, and just have a think before I actually move on to the next spot, because I'm in danger of missing something right under my nose. Now there's absolutely a shot here. I mean, there are so many potential shots. I'm going to play it quite easy, take my time, walk around and size up the possible compositions. Okay, this is composition 1, got to be quick here, 10% battery. Wide angle lens on the Intrepid. I've got Rollei infrared 400 in, and I'm going to shoot it with an R72 filter. Not quite sure of the exposure yet because the sun's gone in, and I'm not going to shoot it while the sun's in. So I'm going to sit here, wait it out and fire off 2 frames. Do the safety shot, give it much more exposure just in case I ruin the first one, which is very possible. Okay, so I've been back to the car now. Fortunately, as I say, the light didn't turn out the way I hoped it would do, but never mind, I took the shots anyway. So I'm coming back to where I started the day, which is the hilltop just above the boathouse, and I'm going to try and get some long shots towards Snowdon. Probably black and white because it has clouded over a little bit. Well, I've just taken a shot of the scene you can see behind me. I've got a wall leading down into the lake and I've got the mountains of Snowdon behind. Very attractive, but something slightly different about this shot. It's actually been taken with a lens I was sent by a very kind gentleman called Kevin Flynn. Now, Kevin had asked me for some photographs and I'd mailed them over to him, and he printed them out, and in return, the generosity is staggering. He's actually sent me a couple of large format lenses. The one I brought today is apparently it's a very classic lens, a Goerz Dagor, and it's a 100mm f10. Very, very old lens, a vintage lens, about 1934. So it's incredibly old, it's uncoated, and I'm giving it a run for the first time today. Now, I've shot the scene behind me with FP4, and I thought it's going to work in black and white. It's an old lens, uncoated, lovely sort of soft contrast. But I also thought, sod it, I'm going to try it with colour. So I've shot it with Ektar, a super saturated colour negative film. So I'm going to see how it works, you know, with these really old optics with modern films. But thanks again, Kevin. It's amazing that you to send me this. It's such a kind gesture, and I'm just glad to be using some equipment that a fellow photographer has no longer got the requirement for. So thank you. Well, I've taken one more shot over towards Snowdon. This time I've got my standard 150mm Nikkor on. Now, I've no intention of using the whole horizontal composition because there's far too much water and sky, but I have seen a narrow band I want to crop in on. They're probably a 2-to-1 crop, so quite tight. Now, to bring out some of the extra detail in the sky and in the water that's going to be left in the shot, I've put on a polarizer, fully polarized, but I've also added a yellow filter. Now, a yellow filter with black and white film boosts the contrast by lowering the blue values of the sky. So it's giving it a bit more definition. It's a bit like adding a grad, as you would with a digital shot or a color image. So I had to shoot at 1/8 of a second because I lost 3 stops with my 2 for the polarizer, 1 for the yellow filter. So let's see how this one comes out. Well, I'm just about done here at Llyn Dywarchen. An absolutely fabulous morning. It's about 11:30 now, so I've been here for about 6 hours. It's been amazing. Absolutely loved it. Now, although I've finished pretty much for the day, I am going to hopefully call in at the end of Llyn near Llanberis on the way home. There's a view from the foreshore from the lakeside I've not tried before. I've usually shot from the bridge at Bryn Rhyfal. And it's worth having a go because it's pretty much on the way home, so it's not really a detour. If I get something, great. If not, it doesn't matter. I've had such a good day. I hope the images turn out well. Even if they don't, I've had a marvellous day out. I've got the video, I've got the memories. So here we go. Let's see if we can get something else and round it off really well.